doing, everybody? Tim from Ski Rex Media once again. And this time it's not the podcast, man. It's another ski review and recap video. Yes, I was in at Big Snow in October, but I was outside on Wednesday. It is Friday the 18th. And if you live in the Northeast, that is a day and a half after Mother Nature decided that we all needed snow. I got 2 feet. 2 feet here at the HQ. Are you kidding me? But the day before the storm, I was skiing on all homemade snow. This week, as you saw in the little opener, the Ramshead Express at Killington. Yes, Tim from Ski Rex Media's big return to Killington. Haven't been there in many, many years, since I was much younger, since I was like 20. Since I was 20 years old was the last time I skied at Killington. I've been there, haven't skied it, doing the outside thing, because again, big snow inside, Killington all outside. How is it going to fare? How is I going to do? That's all part of the recap, and we'll get to that later. I'm going to start with the review, tell you how Killington was, and let's be honest, I have never had a bad thing to say about that mountain. Not once, not never. Always enjoyed it. Had a great time there back when I was young. Had a great time there the other day, even though I was all by myself, and I only stuck to one area, but we'll get to that. The fact is, the big thing, you know, like I could tell you all about the mountain, but the big thing that everybody's going to be dealing with this year is the COVID-19 restrictions and all that good stuff. Let me tell you, Killington's got it handled. Now, I will preface this was just a random Wednesday. 2 days ago, a random Wednesday. And a random Wednesday is going to be slow anyway. During pandemic time, it's probably even slower. I don't know. There were a good amount of people up there. You know, a fair amount at Ramshead. I bet you most everybody else went up to go to the main mountain, but that's fine. You know, that's cool. But they handled it really well. Like, you know, we know about the parking reservation. You got to get your parking reservation. Well, how was that? Again, random Wednesday, so there weren't a lot of people up there anyway. It took me all of 30 seconds to get checked in. But dude, super easy. Super easy. I mean, you just roll up and there's people standing there and you show them your phone and they scan your phone with whichever RFID device, barcode reader device they use. I've used many in my days in retail. It takes a second to connect, tells you, okay, and you go on your way. And they were set up right next to Ramshead parking lot. So I said, all right, screw it. I'm going in there. The parking lot was wide open. Went in there and parked, ended up talking to one of their lifties, whom he just started talking to me, socially distant, telling me things. He was there. He had an hour before class. He was a college freshman. Had an hour before class, came up, got some runs, went to class. I hope he made it on time, dude. I didn't get your name. Sorry about that. Hope you made the class on time, and I also hope you had a good day. Now, from there, let's see here. So again, and this is part of the review is going to be part recap. But again, it doesn't matter. I've never had a bad thing to say about Killington, and I don't. Just go there. If you are able to go there, go there. You will not regret it. It's a good time. But I went ahead and parked and used the Ski Rex Media Lodge at Ramshead at Killington, which was my car. Boot up in your car. It's great. I used to do that anyway. Like, very rarely would I go in the lodge first, unless it was a place I was buying a ticket and they didn't have outside windows. So booted up, walked on over. I got to where you get the tickets. Now, they had a shack. I'm sure there were people in it, but they had the cool kiosks, right? Check out the cool kiosk, just built on a little trailer, you know, no big deal, no buttons, no nothing. Now, there was someone there saying, an employee saying, hey, have you used this before? I'm like, no, my first time. And she's like, oh, super easy. Super easy doesn't cut it. Like, there's no buttons, there's no tapping, there's no nothing. You take your phone with your email, your confirmation email, put it on there, and it spits out things. It just spits these things out. It's like the old school gum machines that we all used to use when we were kids. I got a one-pass little RFID card, reloadable card. Let me tell you something. It was awesome how they had the little trailer kiosks set up. They work great. This technology is a long time coming. I mean, if we have to look at any bright side from COVID-19 pandemic nonsense and BS, that we're getting cool technologies. Let me tell you something. This little RFID card is ridiculous. It spit it out. I took it. I didn't touch anything to get it. Walked up there. I actually put it in a chest pocket. I couldn't get the one on my arm to. It has a crappy flap. Couldn't get this in there. Put it in a chest pocket, and only once did I had to slide back and slide back in to get it to read. Only once. Wonderful piece of technology. I'm glad they embrace it. I hope they continue to embrace it, and I hope it improves. But reloadable for Killington and Pico, I believe. So once I get out there, that'll be for that. Pretty sure we'll all be collecting RFID cards like baseball cards this year anyway. Wonderful technology. The person who was there watching it, because I think you could walk up and buy tickets too. I don't know. I didn't look in the windows of the little shack that was there. I am not a creeper. But the person who was there making sure people's stuff was working, she was very friendly, as their staff typically is, and said it was super easy, and she wasn't wrong. Incredibly easy, wonderful thing. Went about my business, jumped on the lift, headed up the mountain to the top of Ram's Head. Snow was wonderful again, this was all homemade at this point. A little bit of natural stuff, I'm sure, since they've opened, but I can't remember offhand, but it was 90% easy. Well, all right, don't say 90% because I don't want anybody holding me to it and thinking I'm a jerk off for being wrong. Majority of it was man-made, machine-made snow. Groomed up, wonderful. Like I said, I only stuck to Ram's Head. That's where the majority of the easy terrain is. That's what I wanted to ride because of reasons I'll get to in the day recap. But as for the review part, they handled it well. Like, they were blowing snow. The day I went there, just tons of snow blowing. I watched as I kept going up the lift, taking runs, going up, and all the snow guns going off. You just saw it pile up, just pile up, pile up, pile up. Like, they weren't playing around. Like, it was cold. It was below freezing, and they were just hammering. The guns were turned on full blast and just piling up, piling up, piling up. Awesome. And it wasn't just there. It was pretty much anywhere on the mountain they could turn them on. If they had the manpower to run the guns, those guns were running. I mean, that's just 101 at a ski resort, I guess. We know that. We don't even have to ask that. That's what's happening. And it was looking good, and they were doing a great job. Their lifts were running. The lifties had everything handled. They were keeping the decks clear. They were keeping, eyes on everyone. It was great. They were handling it great. It was a great day for a random Wednesday, and I'm sure the Thursday after it was ridiculous because they got 2 feet of snow. I got 2 feet of snow. Other places who I won't bring up here now got friggin' double that, almost 4 feet of snow. Are you kidding me? In one shot in a storm that wasn't even supposed to come this far north, I don't think. So shout out to New York City and the place in the South who were really supposed to get it. I hope you did well. But that's not neither here nor there. We're talking about Killington and how well they did. They did amazing. It was an amazing thing. I mean, again, random Wednesday, those aren't hard. Like, if you've been in the industry, you've worked a random Wednesday, and that's not a hard day. It never is. But to see it handled to the point where you wouldn't know unless you knew. You wouldn't know there was anything going on in the world. You wouldn't know that there was this pandemic, this COVID-19 that was jacking up, capacities and how you can ride a lift and don't touch anything and who can be in the lodge and closed lodges. And the lodge was open for restrooms and whatnot. And of course I went in and partook, but the thing that got to me at Ram's Head Lodge, this was weird. This was a little weird. This was the only sign of COVID-19 that I saw up there, because that's what I was getting at. Like, they've got it handled so well, and I don't know how they did it when they first opened, but right now it felt like textbook. Like, everything was firing on all cylinders, man. And I walk into the lodge though, and you walk right up the stairs, and then there's the rental area. It was empty. It was a ghost town. I've never seen a ski lodge that empty aside from off season or really early in the morning before opening or later in the evening after lifts close and everybody leaves. If you've ever been in a base lodge late, it gets pretty well spooky out there because there's nobody in there. There's nobody there. And I saw out amongst the rental rack, the catacombs of rental equipment, one person back there. And I was like, man, that person must be bored out of their skull, because there's only so many. Got time to lean, you got time to clean. That's very true, but there's only so many times you can clean the same floor let me tell you, that was weird. That was weird, but again, that's not a bad thing. That's exactly what they need to do. The lodges can't be full. They can't be full. So they took care of it. They said, "Hey, everything rentals are here. Get your rentals. Get the hell out." That's it. No problem. So as far as the COVID-19 pandemic stuff, like they said, you wouldn't even know what was going on. You just wouldn't. That's how it felt to me. You just didn't know. You just didn't notice. Yeah, the parking thing, which I think could actually come in handy off season too. I mean, off pandemic too. They can make their decisions about that. Resorts around the country can make their decisions about that. Because believe me, I wouldn't mind reserving a spot and knowing I could go up there and get a better spot than I would if I didn't feel like showing up at dawn during a regular season when it's really busy. Well, again, Wednesday, but whatever. It'd be nice to have a reservation, man. But they handled it, man. I can't say too much good stuff about how well it's being handled up there. And the snow was great. Even though it was machine made, that's still good. Like, that's still good, especially if the snowmakers really know their trade. And they do, man. They were kicking some serious tail up there. And I had a really, really good day. Now, how good a day did I have? Because the review, I'm telling you, it was amazing. Even, like I said, pre-nor'easter, which was the day after, machine made, awesome, empty, weird pandemic lift. And I ate lunch in my car, but that's fine too. I don't care. Granted, I will tell you, it would have been nice to have a lodge burger. I'm not going to lie, but I'm cool without. I'm not there to, all right, sometimes I'm there to sample, food, but whatever, it was a good day. It was an amazing day, and they did an amazing job. Their staff was pro. The snow was made pro. Like, if anybody came off that mountain bitching about anything or complaining, I'd be 100% shocked, surprised, and I'd have questions for them. I'd be like, listen, hater, like, what's the deal? Everybody masked up. Everybody, was good to go. And again, masks in a ski area, I mean, that's commonplace anyway. I wear one because I get cold easy now, it would seem. I just like it. I think it works. And I had one, nice fleece one, worked, double layered. It was great. Worked fine. As for me, myself, because the mountain was amazing, the review here is awesome. You want to do 1 through 5 stars, I give it 5. They handled everything great, and I can't wait to go back. And I suggest that if you haven't been there, or if you have been there, and I know travel restrictions out of Vermont out of state people, I know it stinks. But if you can pull it off. It's worth it to come up there to Killington, which kind of goes without saying. I do know of 1 or 2 people who hate on that place. And once you really get into their stories, it wasn't the mountain's fault. It was their fault. So they were awesome. Thank you, Killington. That was an amazing day. I loved it. Random Wednesday on just a handful of trails. Well, it was more than a handful, but for them, it's about a handful, I guess you could say. But machines made snow that was still nice and groomed, and it was a great day out on the hill. And I loved it. So thank you, Killington. You did awesome. 5 stars. I suggest anybody go do it. Now, as for the recap of the day, there were a few things. For me personally, I was terrified. I wanted to get my awesome review out before saying that, because I don't want anybody to think it was the mountain's fault that I was terrified. Second time out in 6 years, but the first time was indoors. Now, indoor skiing is legit skiing, and I loved it, and I said that in that recap and review video, but it's a different animal outside. There's just so many different elements that go into it, I feel. So how was I going to handle it? So I went up, skied down, got lost for a second. It was funny. Again, that kid whom I ran into in the parking lot was telling me about his day. He says to me, "Hey, I work here. I'm a lift operator. Can I help you?" Well, this was the story. I put this on Instagram, so here's the story. So I survived my first run. Back on skis, back outside, back at Killington. Going back up to the top of the Ram's Head again. Fun little story. I did survive this one, but while I was booting up in the parking lot, socially distant, Someone started talking to me, young kid, said he was coming up for an hour before he had to go to class. I said, all right. So we're talking, socially distanced talking. He says to me, yo, by the way, I'm a lifty, I work here, so if you have any questions. I was like, nah, it's been a long time, but I think I know where I'm going. I can find my way around. Yeah, I just ended up down by K1 in the Snowden Triple. I had to read the map to find my way back to Ram's Head. It would seem I don't know my way around as well as I once did. Awesome. But the run was good, and it's going to turn into a nice day. I don't know. I haven't been there in so long. I was surprised I even I shouldn't be surprised what I'm trying to say, but I got lost a little bit, ended up way over back by the K1 Lodge, or what will be the new K1 Lodge. And so I had to use the maps. I was definitely like a person who had never been there before, but it's been a long time. Like I said, I was 20 years old the last time I went there to ski and up on that hill, around the time of the Poma lift incident. But other than that, man, it was great. I didn't care about that because I was just up there having fun and drilling. Like, it was great to be up there by myself to run workout type drills, try and get my form back, my technique back. Being jealous watching, like, there was a lot of Killington Mountain School kids going up and down practicing that day, and man, they're just bombing. They don't know fear. They know, they're just bombing back and forth. They looked great, doing their things. There was, little kids who were doing their thing, but there were a couple of beginner adults, so I felt good about that. But there was a lot of different people up there of different levels. It was very much a ski day. I watched a couple of them. I was like, all right, am I doing that? And I'm trying to watch my feet too. It's very dangerous. You shouldn't do that while you're actually moving. But, I'm watching my feet, trying to get it together, running, do the whole thing, get down to the bottom, lunchtime about noon, right? Take my lunch. Now, for me personally, this was the rock bottom of me not taking care of myself and getting back into the better shape, because I was whooped, but I didn't know how whooped. So at lunchtime, I was very excited. Get back up, go up, run or two, whatever it was, couple runs. And I'm starting to feel very jello-legged. It's so sad, dude. So I go down. I'm heading towards, what is that? The bubble chair, the 6-pack over on Snowden. I wanted to go in that because I've never been in a bubble chair. In fact, here's when I got there. So look at this. So here's me there, me taking a little panning shot of, with the camera, a little panning shot of the lift and up the hill and you pull down the bar and there's the bubble chair. I have never been on one of those. So I was like, I kind of want to try it. But by the time I got to it again, this time, when I'm thinking about it, I'm standing there and I'm like, I don't know if I should go up there because it's not the most difficult terrain on the mountain up there, obviously, but square trails mixed with jello legs and lack of confidence in one's technique and ability, I opted out. Better safe than sorry. It's like I always say, know the conditions of the hill, know your limitations, work within those limitations. You don't have anything to prove to anybody. Plus, I was tired. So I turned around. What is that? Great Northern? Ran back down to Ram's Head. Jumped back on the lift. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try one more time. Maybe I'm not as bad off. Once I sit here on the lift for, a couple minutes, maybe I'll be okay. Worst run of the day. Not because the snow was chewed up or anything. I mean, it was, but it was fine. It was no big deal. But I couldn't keep my skis straight. I couldn't keep them under me. It was ugly. I took my boots off at the car after this run, put my shoes on, walked around the side of the car and almost went down. Just jello-legged. But to me, that's the sign of a good day. When you're whooped, when you're absolutely whooped and you're tired and you're jello-legged, whether you're out of shape or you're in great shape, if you were out there just run after run after run after run, hammering it out, and at the end of the day, it's just like, damn, I'm tired. I need to sit down and hit the après scene if there were such a thing this year. That's a good day when you're just beat. And I was. And I got in the car And it wasn't late by any means. It was, I left at 20 to 1, 20 to 2. So I was only out there for a good 4 hours, but I got a ton of runs in because again, nobody was there. Had the Rams had almost not all to myself, but the biggest the biggest mess of people was oddly there was a big old group. There was at least one or two patrollers near a rope, like a whole bunch of people standing there. And I don't know if someone ducked the rope or got hurt there. I didn't see anything. I kind of rolled by. It was on my last run around 1:15, 1:20 in the afternoon. And I'm looking at these people and I'm like, what's going on? So I just kept going and stayed out of the way. And I did stop. I stopped a lot that day, actually, to catch my breath. Didn't want to overdo it. But the point was, at the end of the day, if you're whooped, that's a good day on skis or a snowboard or a snow bike or whatever, what have you. That's a good day. And I thoroughly enjoyed it and enjoyed myself. I was whooped, but I enjoyed it, and I stayed within my limits. Like I said, could I have gone up to higher ground and a little and add a difficulty level, add go from green to blue? Could I have done it? Maybe. But because I was unsure, it was better to not. It was better to not because I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to hurt myself. In an early season, it's better to play it, in my opinion, play it safe. If you're tired and you don't think you can do it, better for you, better for ski patrol, better for everyone around you, personally. I did get my couple of firsts up there, 2 firsts. There's something for you. That's how good a day this was. I know this feels random, but I'm just talking about how good a day it was. I got 2 firsts. Number 1, I got to ski under one of the trail underpasses. I've never used one of those before. That was something. Just, skiing through a tunnel, whatever that is. And then I saw turkeys. I used right by the Rams Head Express. There's a couple of little surface lifts, little carpet lifts, in the Woodward sign.
Well, this is something I can safely say I've never seen at a ski mountain or while skiing. Turkeys. Look at them.
And I looked up as I'm standing there about to get on the Rams, the quad, and I look over and there's just a flock of friggin' turkeys hanging out. And I love wildlife. I enjoy wildlife. I enjoy seeing it. Don't see it much when I'm skiing. And I've seen videos of people who have, seen all kinds of shit from around the world, from moose and bears. Bears shouldn't be out, but they sometimes, I guess, and different, mountain cats. And if you go to Australia, I've seen wombat footage and Tasmanian devil footage. It's crazy. I don't see stuff like that. But I saw those turkeys, so I went up I jumped on the little carpet lift. I haven't been on one of those in a while either. So I jumped on that, went up, and took a little, video of the turkeys there, just eating. So you can check that out. And it was good. That just added to the day as a first. Like I said, the first was going, well, the turkeys actually came first. So that was my first time seeing turkeys while skiing. I have seen turkey. I saw turkeys at Mount Snow, but that was while driving up the mountain in a company pickup truck to go to the Summit Lodge to get something out of it. One of my coworkers / buddies, boss said drive up. So we did see turkeys, but I've never seen them this late in the season while skiing, number 1. And then the underpass. So that was pretty good. All in all, great day. Again, I thank Killington 100% because that was an awesome day. Buying my ticket online in advance was awesome. Going to the kiosk was amazing. Using the parking app to scan it, awesome. Everything was great. The staff seemed friendly, but I didn't interact with a lot of staff because COVID. So everybody's keeping their distance. RFID card, 100% say do it. Get it. Make sure you can use it and reload it. Be easier on you. Then you don't even have to go to the booth or the kiosks for the rest of the season. Do that if you're not a pass holder. If you're a pass holder, then you already have one. It doesn't matter. But you know what I mean. Staff was friendly. The ones I did interact with. The snow was good. The lifts are awesome. Everything was great. Awesome day. 100%. Cannot wait to do it again. Have to see when I can go back up there because other places, we just had 2 feet of snow minimum around here. Minimum 2 feet of snow. I'll short that a little. Let's say minimum of 18 inches, but there were places that are pushing 3 and 4 feet. So minimum of 18 inches to 2 feet. So everything's opening, and we'll see where we get to next. But once again, thank you, Killington. That was beautiful. What a great day. I did, as you saw, I took some pictures and some video, and I didn't take any real video of me skiing because, that was ugly for someone who was decent at it and is not decent anymore. Not really embarrassed by it, but it's not really something I want people looking at either if I can help it until I get a little bit, I feel a little bit more comfortable on my feet, a little bit more confidence in everything. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? I did do a top to bottom. So let me edit that up, show you top to bottom from Ram's Head. I think this is my last run I took that day. Ram's Head down to the bottom. Just a good day. Edited, it'll be quick if you want to watch it. If not, thank you for watching so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow on the social medias. Everything's in the description anyway. Check all that out or go to skirexmedia.com. Thank you again, Killington. That was awesome. I love it. I'll see you again later in the winter as well as Pico, I am sure. And for everybody else, if you can get up there, the place is legit. I knew it before going up there. I knew it anyway because I've already been there a ton. And yeah, maybe it was when I was 20, but yeah, how much could it really change for the worse if it's still open? No, it can't. It was awesome. Shout out to Killington. Shout out to everybody who works there. Shout out to everybody who was there and to everybody who's going there. I will see you on the next one. Expect that in the coming weeks because it's time to get out there and do some more. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you later.